See that white shit? That's snow. It's fucking snowing. It's not even November, and it's already snowing here in Canada, which means it's gonna be fun. But it's still October, which means I am reviewing another horror film, and I think I have now officially completed the 31 Days of Horror challenge, which is impressive because I didn't really have a lot of time this month, and at the same time, I didn't even sacrifice work, school, my YouTube channel, and I had a bit of time for social life in between there. I had a Halloween party on Saturday with which it wasn't really a Halloween party. We just played video games and drank a lot of alcohol, and we did watch Slugs, which Slugs is masterpiece of trash. But today I'm reviewing another, spoiler alert, spooky 10 out of 10, which is the third one in a row. There was The Mutilator, then there was Suspiria, and now there is It Follows, which is a film that is way more modern than what I covered this month, and it's just because it's one of my personal favorites, and I hadn't seen it in so long. Like, probably since, like, 2015, 2016. This came out in 2014. I had watched it when it came out. I bought this DVD brand new, which was rare, especially at that time. But yeah, it had been years, and then I went to work last week, and my manager, out of nowhere, was like, "Hey, you ever seen It Follows?" I'm like, "Fuck, yeah, I have. It's one of my favorite horror movies, like, of the 2010s at least, if not like ever." And then I just talked to him about it, and then I remembered, damn, I really need to rewatch this one. And it came out the same year as another one of like my favorite movies from the 2010s, The Guest, and it even stars the same girl, Maika Monroe, I think her name is. Yeah, she's fucking amazing in this. She's the main character. She does an amazing job. Yeah, this film is about a sexual transmitted disease that'll kill you, quite literally. It's such an original concept. When it came out, I was kind of in awe at the originality of this film. This has to be one of the most creative horror films of the 2010s. I mean, you're talking about an era with a lot of sequels and remakes, just like today, and then this came out of nowhere, and it blew my socks off. It's very original, it's amazingly shot, and the thing I realized watching this is for me, again, this is all subjective, this is probably one of the scariest films I've ever seen. Now, I don't want to sound like a tough guy, like, oh, horror movies don't scare me, but it's just a reality of it's just a reality when most of what I watch are horror films. You'll get to know the cliches and they won't be as scary. This one scared me back then, and then now as an almost 30-year-old man, it still manages to scare me. It gets under your skin. The music is great. The atmosphere is so incredible, and what I appreciate about this film is that it's not jump scare fucking party. There are, I think, maybe 2 or 3 jump scares really in this film, and they're all pretty well done, and they're all pretty deserved. Like, I don't mind jump scares when they are deserved, when the film works hard to make a jump scare not like cheesy, like kind of Conjuring universe of just silence, boo. This actually works towards the jump scares, and they work. They are scary, and they do come out, not out of nowhere, but out of necessity. It is very well made. It lingers. The cinematography is incredible. It's super wide, panoramic wide, with some nice flares in there. The cinematography is incredible, but it does just linger around, and the shots are slow. It's a very slow moving movie, which makes sense because it reflects the villain of this film, which is this entity that can take any form, which is another reason why it's so fucking scary. It's not just like one supernatural ghost being. It can be literally anything, including somebody you know, and it's just a slow-moving, lingering kind of spirit that follows you around, and if it catches you, you're dead. So the film reflects that by being extremely slow moving. The music is very slow, which I think is one of a lot of people's biggest issues with this film, is that they're like, oh, it's boring. Well, no, not really. It's a slow burn. It's kind of a throwback to 70s and 60s cinema, where, you know, they built you up and then the payoff paid off. That's why it's called the payoff. And this does an incredible job at building tension. And then it doesn't even like alleviate tension. You know, a lot of these films would use comedy to kind of alleviate that tension, and there's about like 2 scenes where there is a bit of comedy in there, but it's not really like it just builds a tension. It doesn't try to break it. It doesn't see it necessary to break the tension, because at the end of the day, this is a horror film. And the goal is to scare the audience. So it brilliantly scares the audience without attempting to like alleviate tension for a mass audience. This is clearly not a film made for the mass audiences. It's very niche, and I'm surprised it got such a cult following, because these types of films rarely do. I mean, this had clearly it's clearly independent, but it had a bigger budget, and I don't even know if it played in theaters. It probably had a very small run. Personally, I don't remember seeing it in theaters where I'm from. My cat is yelling at me. She probably wants to go outside. The issue is, it's snowing. I'll go get her some food probably, or play with her after this. But yeah, so it follows, yeah. I don't really want to say anything spoilery, even though this came out a couple of years ago, so if you were to see it, you've probably already seen it. I don't know, it's just a film that I adore, and after watching this for the first time in years, I am wondering to myself why I don't watch this more often. It's just the type of movie that was like made for me. I mean, I like trash, but I also like artsy, well-made horror films. There's a distinction, right? It's like, yeah, I appreciate trash and I adore trash, and Mutilator is the perfect example of that, but I also really love good movies. I'm not the type of person that will like give like a 10 out of 10 to Mutilator and then give this like a 2 because it's too mainstream or it's too slow or whatever. Like I can be kind of objective about things, and this is a great film. So I've already said it, this is a spooky 10 out of 10, fucking incredible movie, and go watch this. And honestly, I might watch The Guest either today or tomorrow, just because that is set on Halloween, and that is also a fucking banger from 2014. So yeah, go watch It Follows. Now I'm gonna go play with my cat.